Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are watching this out there on the World Wide Web. This is Jeremy Geelan for SYS-CON TV. I'm here at 10th Cloud Expo, New York, with Cory Isaacson from dbShards. Cory, welcome again.
Hello, Jeremy. Great to be here.
It keeps getting bigger. Is it you that's making it bigger all the time?
We're trying to help you make it bigger. It's a great show.
Is it because data is getting bigger, Cory?
It's definitely part because data is getting bigger. That's a big part of it.
And the cloud is kind of useful for analyzing big data, I'm thinking?
The cloud is very useful for analyzing big data and hosting production big data as well.
And if you could add sharding to that, you'd really have a marriage made in heaven, wouldn't you?
That's right. You'd really have it made.
I don't suppose your company has anything to do with doing that kind of thing?
Just possibly.
Oh my God. The sweet spot of the cloud and big data is sort of owned by dbShards and by your whole Code Futures enterprise. Let's catch people up. What took you into this sweet spot, and what is it that you're leveraging? Because it's fascinating.
Well, we were actually the first vendor to tackle this area of database scalability, and what's really fascinating is that we actually can handle the relational databases as well as integrating with other types of databases, so you can manage all of your data in a scalable environment.
And you sensed this before anyone, or you just cracked it before anyone, or a bit of both?
You know, we were the first entrant into the market, and there really was no one else there. And about 3 years later, people actually started to pick up on what we were doing, and now there are some other vendors, and it's actually been great for us because it brought a lot more attention to the whole space.
So who would be a typical, let's think of a typical client who's got the problem that you can solve?
So far, we're dealing a lot with social networking applications, game applications, believe it or not. We also are getting into enterprise and analytics. We have a lot of those people as well. But 4 of the top 50 Facebook applications in the world run dbShards now.
That's not a bad recommendation. Just enjoy saying that again. 4 of the top 50 Facebook applications use dbShards.
That's right. 4 of the top 50 Facebook applications in the world use dbShards, and there are more on the way.
That's a pretty good vindication, I would say. And it all started here at Cloud Expo, I like to think.
It definitely started here at Cloud Expo. This is where we actually got our first notice, and it's come along since then very, very well.
So that takes us to the future, Cory, because now we want to take over the world. How are you going to expand? What trajectory are you going to take so that you really you've got this first mover advantage? Where's it going to go from here?
Well, the focus now is we're actually supporting any type of database that you want. So we have a complete multi-DBMS cluster now, which means that we can run with MySQL, Postgres, DB2, SQL Server, really any type of database that you want to run. You can just plug it in. You can even have more than one database in the same type of cluster. We're also supporting specialty column databases and things like that, so we've expanded it much, much more.
And I know part of your strategy of getting the word out has been to introduce this idea of boot camp. Tell us about that.
That's right. We're having the first dbShards boot camp tomorrow, June 14th. There are going to be 2 sessions at 10 in the morning and at 2 in the afternoon. This is a hands-on boot camp where you actually get to try dbShards and get your hands dirty and actually see how it works.
And it's a full 2-hour sequence.
Yes, it's going to be a full training on the product. We're exposing everything so people will really get to see how it really works and what it does.
If that goes as well as I think it goes, we should talk about how we could make that work also on the West Coast in November.
We are definitely planning that. Definitely planning that. And I will tell you in November also, we're going to be introducing dbShards 3, which has a lot of exciting things that I can't say anything about publicly.
Syncing up his whole roadmap with Cloud Expo. What's not to like about that?
That's the way we play it.
Very sensible. Cory Isaacson, CEO of dbShards.